Hello. In this presentation, I will be showing SAP Document and Reporting Compliance for Ecuador, a partner extension developed by Origen Tech. Before starting with the system demonstration, let me provide some background information on the country regulations. In Ecuador, the electronic documents are submitted to the tax authority named SRI. To do so, the company needs to obtain a digital certificate issued by one of the authorized providers that are listed on the SRI website. This will enable access to both testing and productive environments. The document types that can be submitted in Ecuador are invoices, credit notes, debit notes, withholding certificates, purchase settlements, and delivery notes. Once these electronic documents are approved by the SRA, which may take up to 24 hours, an authorization number is returned and the PDF representation, named RIDE, will become available for distribution to business partners. Voiding documents that were previously approved by the SRA needs to be performed manually on the SRI website using the web application, SRA en línea. Step-by-step instructions can be found and downloaded from the same website. Let's now begin with the system demonstration. In this demo, we will submit an invoice to the SRI system, showcasing the electronic document lifecycle and the different features that are available for the end user in the eDocument cockpit application. First, we navigate to VF01 transaction and save the billing document. This will trigger the creation of a new eDocument for Ecuador, which can be further processed using the eDocument cockpit application. Now, we access the eDoc_cockpit transaction and search for the eDocument just created, and that is linked to our source billing document. On the right side, you can see the fields that compose the document series. You can also see other fields such as authorization number, date and time, which will be updated once the document gets approved. To start with, as an optional step, we can visualize the XML data before submitting the document to the tax authorities. Next, we must submit the eDocument to the SRI system by clicking on the Submit button. If all the initial XML schema validations run by the SRI are passed, the document status will be updated to Received by SRI. This means that the request message was correctly received by the tax authorities and is now waiting for legal approval. We can also display the response and digitally signed XML files by browsing the messages history. All these messages could be downloaded if needed by selecting them and pressing the Export File button. Next, we check the status of this approval by clicking on the Status button. If the document is approved, the status will be updated to Accepted by SRI. The fields, authorization number, date and time will be updated accordingly. Again, we can check the response XML by browsing the messages history. The PDF representation, RIDE, will now become available for display and distribution to the customer. We can send the PDF and signed XML files to the customer via email by clicking on the Send to Customer button. This will update the status to Sent to Customer. Optionally, if we need to void an approved document, we can click on the Void eDocument button. This will pop up a confirmation message to make sure the user has already voided the document manually in the SRI website using the SRA en línea web application, as mentioned before. When the user confirms, the status will be updated to Voided by SRI, and the source document should be manually cancelled via VF11 transaction or similar. If, at any step, the document gets rejected by the SRA, the document status will be updated to Rejected by SRI and the error messages can be displayed in the application log for further troubleshooting. Once the errors are fixed, the e-document can be resubmitted to the SRI. Finally, every action performed manually during this presentation can be done automatically using the eDoc_background transaction to configure background jobs. This covers all the different aspects and features of SAP document and reporting compliance for Ecuador, a partner extension developed by Origen Tech. Thank you for watching.